Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Indigo here. We're gonna get into another shadow work prompt. I'm currently sitting here working. I don't know. I think I started. I just kind of started thinking about like a bunch of shit, right? Anyways, so the prompt that I'm answering today is, what is your most toxic trait? And for me, I feel like my most toxic trait is that I could get really enthralled in other people's lives, because I feel like I'm responsible for helping them or saving them, okay? But like I've done that to like my detriment, where like I should have been investing more time in myself and my situation. Like I spent more time investing in other people in their situation, and essentially these are people that are comfortable in their situation, so it's not even like, the help was like help for real. And I feel like that also has uh, an issue to do with, like, sometimes I feel like I could literally do everything for everyone else, but when it comes to myself, sometimes I feel like I can't. And I feel like that's stemmed to feeling like, my life has been too hard, like, boo, cry me a river, right? Stemming from being tired of like having to be the only person that's in my corner, right? So it's like I distract myself with other people's dreams and goals, because like I'm really good at taking instructions, right? So I'm really good at like following rules and shit. So I feel like sometimes that validation of like, oh, I'm doing something right, like makes me feel good. So it like gives me purpose. So I feel like another one of my toxic traits is like looking for purpose, okay? Like, and I feel like we all spend time looking for purpose, right? But you have to feel like, and I feel like this now, but I didn't before, where like there was a purpose for my life. Like in the past, I didn't really feel like there was a purpose for my life. The purpose that I thought my life was to help people, but I thought it was in a completely different way. Like now that I'm doing like these readings and like practicing and studying, holistic ways to help people with their mental health and stuff like that, I'm realizing like how I'm supposed to aim that, or pinpoint that passion, like what I'm supposed to center that in on. But yeah, another one of my toxic traits. Sometimes, I don't know if this is considered to be toxic, right? But like I do it because I care about people and because I love them. But I always like point out the things to other people that like they've told me that they're focused on. Like intuitively, I know like when people have issues and when they shouldn't be doing certain stuff. So I like point it out to like bring awareness to them. Like maybe you shouldn't do that, blah blah blah. But like I don't know if it's helpful or if it's toxic. Sometimes I feel like it's toxic, especially if the other person receiving it doesn't want to hear it. But to me, it feels very I don't know. Like I like to be that voice of like reason, like the voice in your ear that tells you the positive stuff and like positive reinforcement, positive changes, things of that nature, right? Another one of my toxic traits, right? I'm speaking from, I feel like I have to speak from current, right? Instead of speaking from past. Okay, so recently I've noticed that I've obsessively stressed myself out and worried about something that didn't really require me to worry about because the situation was being handled regardless. Okay, so this is getting like overly obsessing about the outcome of the situation, because you ultimately can't control the outcome when the outcome is in somebody else's hands kind of energy. And I feel like I've been like stagnating my time by doing that. Okay. I also feel like lately I have been like smoking more so than I was like when I was in my previous environment. Okay. Because like there's a sense of like scared, vulnerable. This like I feel very vulnerable in the world right now. Okay, so the trait is to become like attached to something that kind of eases that feeling and like makes me feel less, but it also doesn't help me unstagnate myself. So I kind of have to realize like boundaries. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, yes, another toxic trait of mine. Sometimes I can focus on the negative so much that it's hard for me to enjoy the positive. I have like separation anxiety. Okay, I don't like to be separated from things that I love because like it gives me that sense of purpose. It gives me that sense of living. Okay, and without that, sometimes I don't feel like I have like love in my life. Okay, so this is something that's even like something as simple as my child. Like she went away for like 3 days, right? And over the course of those 3 days, like I spent a lot of time anticipating her coming back, um, rather than actually like focusing on what it was that I needed to do. Not to say that I didn't get anything done because I did, but I could have focused more on what I was doing. But because I was anticipating for her to come back, it was like me preparing for her to come back again, and not really being present in the moment, but kind of living in like the future when she is here and like whatever. Uh, Toxic trait. Sometimes I attach myself to the outcome of a situation. Lately, I've been attaching myself to the outcome of situations. I haven't been able to really tap into my like flowy energy because I'm like nervous about every fucking thing right now. Like I'm just like, what the? But it's not to the point where it's running my mind. Like I feel very calm and centered in it all, but I do notice that it's affecting my ability to act and take action. And I've never been a person who like taking action has never been an issue for me. Like when it comes to like doing shit, like bitch, I'm the person you call to do shit because I'm the one who's gonna take action. Um, I don't know. I just feel like maybe like the situation I experienced has made me well, it's definitely saddened me. I feel like as of lately I've been confronting the sadness more as opposed to before. I was just kind of like whatever, like this is what I anticipated to happen, right? Kind of energy. But that need to acknowledge the feeling of how something actually did make me feel what I went through energetically about what I was experiencing, that has to come to the forefront because I have to like work through those feelings in order for me to get out of the space that I am in mentally. Okay. Um, Another toxic trait of mine is wanting to be like, fuck all of this. I'm going in the forest. Like I just be wanting to run away from shit. I feel like that's my number one toxic trait, like running away from things. Like I'm one of those people who like, fuck it. It's not working, fuck it. Bye. Like and like my last relationship definitely was a testament to like that running away initial response. But that kind of made me correct myself in the sense of like that was something that I needed to run away from. And there are things in my life that I don't need to run away from, that I feel like I am trying to run away from, that I don't need to. Like that's not what I'm divinely being guided to do, but because I have like this anxiety around what can happen or what will happen, I like feel some type of way about it. So yeah, there's that. I have a toxic trait of sometimes like I'll just eat shit because it's there. Like I'll just eat it because it's there. Like it feels like sometimes I just need to like fill my time with like doing something, like physically doing something. If it's eating, if it's smoking, if it's journaling, if it's working. Like lately, it's been harder for me to like sit still and just sit still. So another toxic trait is feeling like I'm not feeling like I don't have any value unless I'm doing something, physically doing something. And a lot of what I've went through has forced me to heal spiritually, mentally, physically. Okay, so there's been a lot of rest over the last 8 months that I've had, and like I look at that resting period and I think about like all the stuff that I have to do, and I'm like, damn, if I would have spent more time, like sometimes I can get, sometimes I'm hard on myself, and I feel like that's another toxic trait. Like I hold myself to a very high standard, and when I don't reach that high standard, I can be like hard on myself and almost kind of like forfeit myself out of what the fuck it is that I'm doing because I'm just so enthralled with whatever the fuck my brain is trying to concoct up, right? So that's something I'm working on. I feel like lately, I feel like the last 3 days has brought me to like this extreme awareness to the point to where like the toxic traits that I feel like I do have, I feel like I'm also in the stage of working on them so that I can rid them from my life so that these aren't things that hinder me, because your toxic traits definitely can be things that hinder you and keep you stuck in a cycle and keep you stagnant, and like you want to move forward, like you want to progress, you don't want to stay stagnant, you don't want to like miss out on life. Like there's so much life, and maybe also from my past relationship I've built some sort of like, there's like an illusion placed over my confidence because I'm very fucking assertive. Like if I want some shit, I have no problem going after it. Um, but this last situation I've been through has made me like be extreme, like more analytical than I already am when it comes to deciding to take action or to not take action. Like I have to see and foresee whatever the fuck it is that I'm about to get myself into, because it's like I don't want to perpetuate cycles from the past. But that can like also stop you from taking action, right? But I also believe in divine timing. Like I feel like I'm one of those people who like divine timing is always at play in my life. Like it's never not at play in my life. Like my timing is fucking immaculate. Like, oh my god. So I don't know. Those are just some things that I feel like. I feel like I don't have many toxic traits because I've done a lot of work on myself, but I'm still doing work on myself. So there are definitely traits there. Uh, Another toxic trait is distracting myself from doing the things that I know I should by validating why I'm not doing them, and like using my experiences from the past to validate why I can't take action, which is why like I fucking social media literally drains me. Like I don't know what it is now about social media, but it's been really hard for me to like be on social media, like be a influencer, whatever the fuck, right? This social media guru, social media shaman is what I call it. Like it's been hard to like focus on that because a part of me doesn't want to be seen, but a part of me feels disconnected. It's like I'm disassociating myself from reality because I'm still focused on purging out pain from the past, and I'm also very focused on learning new ways to protect myself because I am experiencing a fucking spiritual war. Like, bitches is throwing voodoo on me left and right. Bitch, we got new moon coming up. I gotta get my prayers over. I got candles. Like, bitch, blah, blah, blah. Like, because when you go through that shit, when you, first of all, like, people who, like me, I'll speak for myself, I have multiple abilities. Like, I can see multiple dimensions, and it's not like I see everything. Like, there's no hiding anything. Like, I literally see everything. So you have to understand, like, when I'm talking about my people doing magic on me and voodoo and shit, this is not just an energetic thing that I'm just feeling. No, I'm literally face to face with demons. I'm literally telepathically communicating with demonic spirits, entities. Like, that's a lot for a person to take on. Like, if a person who wasn't me and didn't have my abilities just experienced that shit, like, bro, you would go crazy. Like, you would literally go crazy. So it's like, oh, let me figure out how to acquaint myself with these niggas. Like, like, do you want me to leave you some cookies? Like, what are your intentions here, sir? Like, what are you looking for me to? So yeah, um, right, and I also feel like because I'm not getting like outside validation, it's like affecting me. So that could be a toxic trait, like seeking validation, right? And maybe that's just something I have to admit to myself. I do seek validation when it comes to making certain choices and decisions because I don't have parents to confide in about the choices and decisions that I'm making. So it's like I'd be looking for someone in the 3D realm to like give me like, am I making the right choices? Am I doing the right decisions? And I understand that that's what I have my spirit guides for. That's what I have my spiritual team for. That's what I have the divine for. But like, man, sometimes that 5D validation isn't enough. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. Is like my 5D is so impactful and it's so full. Like, I have so many angels and fairies and werewolves and demons and God and angels and so many things in the 5D that are rooting for me. Like, they're on my side, you know. But in the 3D, I feel like there's a lack of me seeing that. Not to say that there aren't people who are rooting for me, because I know that there are. I probably just don't fucking know them, and they probably just don't say anything for me. But it's like a sense of comfort. I think I have to find the sense of comfort within myself again, instead of like trying to create it externally from myself, because I've done that in the past, and I feel like this is the time in my life where that past lesson is being tested right now. So this is very enlightening for me. I hope it's enlightening for you too, because like saying it out loud definitely does make a difference. It's helping me purge, right? And for a minute, like, I didn't want to share what I was going through, not because like I'm scared of being vulnerable or anything, but when you literally have people plotting on you, you literally know how people think and how they move. You literally have to be very fucking strategic with everything that you say, when you say it, how you say it, when you post it, like, everything has to be very strategically outlined so that you don't build a box around yourself and literally give somebody a fucking lock and a key to lock you in that box. And that's something that I learned, okay? Uh, I also feel like, sidebar, there's somebody in the ether who's like jealous of the fact that I don't have to, not jealous, but I don't know, upset about the fact that like I am who the fuck I am, bitch. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Like, bitch, who gives a fuck? You're still watching my content, you're still learning. Who cares? Like, it just is what it is. Let peace be peace, baby. Um, I can't hope that my purpose triumphs the bad, maybe not so smart decisions that I've made in my life. All right, sorry. I definitely had a dream that like I was in my home, right? I was in my home. I was moved all into my home. Like I had all my business stuff. It was all set up. Everything looked so cute. It was like perfect. And damn, maybe that is a part of my journey. But I had company over and I let my company out because I could feel like some type of attack coming and I didn't want this person to be susceptible to it. So I let them out and I went downstairs in the basement, and in the basement was on fire. I think I told you about this dream, but the basement was on fire and the devil was like mad that I didn't have to pay for my sins because when you sin, like you have to pay for them, but they're like kind of with the devil, and the devil will like torment you and taunt you and try to get you to do more bad shit, and when you don't do it, that's kind of when you like forfeit that contract. At least that's what I feel. um if you have the strength or power to actually do that, because not everybody is able to do that. um but yeah, it's like the devil is mad that I'm completely different from my past and I'm no longer being held accountable to the mistakes and things that I've done in the past. But I'm very happy and proud of myself because that tells me that I've grown a lot, I've learned a lot, and I've forfeited temporary success and gain for an everlasting, authentic as solidified foundation. Uh, so yeah, I'm happy about that. But yeah, that's my shadow work prompt for today. I love you guys, and yeah, I hope you're having a good day or good night, whatever time it is when you watch this video, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.